Huh? What's this all about? Isn't that Ms. Hinkle's junk press?
No, that's the junk press from my trawler. You need to help me fix it.
Yeah, but it looks exactly like Ms. Hinkle's junk press from the tutorial in Part 1.
So what? Who's going to notice? Those who played Part 1 don't even need a tutorial.
Yeah, but I bet they're gonna play it through anyway, because they just can't get enough of me. Count me out. I'm definitely not gonna suffer through this whole tutorial thing again. I mean, it was stupid enough the first time around.
Ah, come on. Little repetition can't hurt.
Then how do you explain this blister? That is where I burned myself when I repeatedly put my hand on a hot stove.
You never learn, do you?
Au contraire, I have a nearly photographic memory.
Do you now? So, do you remember how to use the interface in order to talk to someone?
Yes, of course.
Go ahead. Talk to me. Just point the cursor at me and left click as soon as the speech balloon icon appears.
No prompting! Talk to Bozo.
You don't have to say that aloud.
Hey, who's talking to you?
Hello there. You clicked on me.
Yeah, and I regret it already. But you see, there's nothing left here that you could teach me. You don't even know, how to talk to somebody.
But you just did that. You left clicked when the speech balloon appeared on the cursor.
Are you sure? Wasn't it perhaps the insanely handsome Rufus head icon?
No, the speech balloon. The head icon is only used for eating, drinking, and putting on garments.
Which really should happen more often. But now, let's come to the all-important question of how to look at an object.
But I already know that.
I see. And how?
I point at it with my mouse cursor and right-click when the eye icon appears.
Nonsense! That's not an eye. It's a ping-pong ball.
With a pupil?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Why would they use a loaded ping-pong ball as an icon for the action examine?
I'm about to demonstrate that using the small object lying on the ground over there by pointing the cursor at it and right-clicking as soon as the ping-pong ball appears.
I'm holding my breath.
What's that?
It's the reactor lead head.
But it was a cathode plunger in the last game.
It's the lead head, believe me. You need it to repair the press.
And how exactly am I going to do that if I can't even pick the thing up?
Sure you can pick it up. Just point at it with the mouse to make the hand icon appear. Then left click to pick it up.
Oh no, this has to be easier. Huh? Where'd it go?
You put it in your inventory. You know, where all your items go. You pick the thing up. Now use the mouse wheel to open the inventory.
Hey, there it is.
Exactly. Now, this is your inventory.
I knew that.
Here you can view all the stuff you're lugging around. You remember how to do that, don't you? And? Any luck combining them?
I'm working on it.
Click on one of the two items with the hand icon to attach it to your mouse pointer. Then click on the other item to combine them.
I was just about to do that. Look here, Bozo. I fixed the part.
I won't believe that until I see it in operation.
I know. My handyman skills are really incredible. It fits.
Next you need to...
Hey, you don't have to spoon feed me. I'll manage the rest.
Whatever. When you're ready, you need to...
Hold your horses, will ya? It's just a button. I think I can manage without your help.
Rufus, don't! You're standing right under the...
Don't panic. You don't think I'd fall for the same feeble gag twice. So, what was that again? I pushed this button here, and then...
Didn't look all that feeble to me.
They came out of nowhere. With their cruisers, plasma weapons, and mechanical beards. Organized. They took our village by force. They left nothing behind but tears and devastation. They were looking for gold and Elysium, the girl that fell from the sky. And only one person was prepared to save her. He woke her up, contacted her fiancé, and took her to the lower Ascension station, only to learn the shocking truth once he got there. Cletus, Gold's fiancé, wasn't acting out of love. He had an agreement with Ulysses, the mysterious leader of the Organon, and Argus, his right hand. They needed the Ascension codes, hidden away in Gold's brain implant, and they wanted to erase her memory. They wanted to make sure no Elysian would ever know that our world is inhabited. For their goal was terrible beyond imagination. They wanted to blow up our world. But they had failed to reckon with the One. He swapped the cartridges. And he restored Gold's memory so that she could bear the truth to Elysium. The name of this one man, this selfless hero, was Rufus. Dun, 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 dun. Bop, bop, bop.
That wasn't the whole story, was it?
That was the first part. I think it's going to be a trilogy.
Sounds a bit unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievably cool.
But if it really all happened like that, shouldn't I be on my way to Elysium with Cletus? So what are you doing here? Where is Cletus? Why am I unable to remember any of this? And forgive me for asking, but why is there a burning saw blade stuck in the side of the ship?
Oh, that. Oh, well, I was about to get to that part. So listen up. Da 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 dun 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 dun.
You're being pathetic, again about accurate bacteria in the fridge. It's getting boring, but packing bags due to dirty socks ice through to lampshades rim borders on Anodon's gone. Didn't I explicate it? Are you still not persuaded? Is grass growing on your tympanic membrane? Remember Deponia, self-sacrifices, and gosh, not to start all over again. Start all over again.
Trash. Trash. And more trash.
Isn't it adorable?
Yeah, sure. Hard to imagine I ever wanted to leave here.
Ah, Rufus. This is the lad I was telling you about.
What? Him? From what you told me, I had imagined a smart young man, not a filthy bum.
There's more to him than meets the eye. When I first met him, Rufus was still a... How shall I put this?
Just say it. I was a self-indulgent slob, but I'm steadily improving.
That's right. Right now, for example, he is helping Bozo to get the trawler shipshape.
So I am. I was going to ask you whether I can borrow your hammer.
No problem. You can take it from my toolbox over there.
Thanks, Doc. You're the best.
I still don't know, really. Something just doesn't seem right about that boy.
But Grandma Utz, whatever are you talking about?
Didn't you tell me that he suffers from an exaggerated opinion of himself?
Those days are over. Rufus has learned a lot. He is much more careful than before.
Aren't you worried he might steal something?
I trust him completely.
I hope your young friend doesn't get too close to my John Thomas. The poor thing is so small and fragile.
Don't worry. The Rufus I know loves animals. He wouldn't harm the pretty little head of your John Thomas.
Rufus seems like a brutal thug to me.
Rufus? Brutal? Never.
I just hope he doesn't turn my whole house upside down.
He's just getting a hammer. How much damage could he possibly do?
Can a person really change so much?
It's very simple. Once burned, twice shy. And Rufus has burned his fingers more than once. He has learned. I would bet the house on it.
And you're sure he won't do anything to my John Thomas?
100%.
All I'm saying is that he seems very clumsy.
Your fears are completely groundless. Rufus has become very careful since his last adventure.
And if he has to use the toilet, then he can do that on the trawler.
Of course, Grandma.
It's just that I have hardly any water left.
He's just getting a hammer.
If that's all true, then he must have turned himself around 180 degrees.
That's how it is. As if someone installed a power inverter in him.
And he shouldn't give John Thomas too much to drink under any circumstances.
Well, if that's all you're worried about,
Something like that can kill a little bird.
Rufus isn't going to drown your bird by accident.
He would ask before he used my water supply, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
Good. Good. I have to get by on what I have until the end of the month. Perhaps I'm worrying unnecessarily. After all, John Thomas is very good at self-defense.
Oh, Grandma Utz, as if that would be at all necessary.
What if he suddenly blows a fuse?
Believe me, those days are over.
Well, I still have my doubts. That Rufus looks to me like an arsonist.
You know what they say, no doubt burns so hot that it can't be extinguished with a wet tablecloth.
But my tablecloth is as dry as a bone. You would set the whole place on fire in the blink of an eye.
Oh, Grandma, that's just a saying. No one here is going to set anything on fire.
You almost have me convinced, but there is one thing that still worries me. He had better not clog my garbage disposal. The blades are so sharp. Things are always getting caught in there.
Oh, Grandma, you worry about the silliest things.
If you promise me that he will be careful, then everything is all right. Just as long as nothing happens to my John Thomas.
Promise.
Then I should apologize. I suppose your Rufus really must have improved. Well, I still have my doubts. That Rufus looks to me like...
You know what they say? No doubt burns so...
But my table would say...
Oh, that's just no one here.
Well, what do you know? Here it is.
Have you found it at last?
Yeah, sure.
It certainly took you long enough. I hope you didn't leave a mess.
Me? No way. But enough chit-chat. Bozo's waiting.
Just relax, Rufus. It's not like anything's on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
By the way, what's that funky smell? Rufus, have you gone completely off the deep end? You almost set Grandma Utz's heart on fire.
All for a good cause.
You committing suicide?
No, I'm traveling to Elysium.
But Rufus, we've been through all that. I thought you would finally become reasonable.
Become reasonable? I am reasonable. And that's exactly why my plan is gonna work this time.
What plan are you talking about?
Well, what does it look like?
It looks like a madman's attempt to refute the principle of action and reaction.
Close enough.
Goodness gracious me.
As soon as I step on these bellows, the cork will hit the 3 targets one by one. In a spectacular chain reaction, this will cause the rockets to be lit and the safety rope to be cut. I have calculated everything. Just watch and learn. Oh, and keep away from the falling blade if you want to hold on to your fingers. An apology is about to be due. You'll see, I will go to Elysium.
Stop it, Rufus. The only thing you will achieve is a spectacular suicide.
Don't panic. I've calculated everything. Elysium, here I come. Watch your fingers, Doc. As soon as the cork hits the 3rd target, the scale will trigger the guillotine.
It would be insane to believe that will work, but it would be even more insane to assume I would be safe here.
After the cork ricochets off the other 2 targets, it will hit exactly here. I've calculated everything precisely.
How did you calculate that?
Well, the way you calculate things. You lie down for a while, and these mathematical formulas come to you in your sleep.